Hi, my name is Maylee Keola from imvu, and today I will be showing you how to recolor shoes. Pretty much this technique can be used on any product in imvu that comes with a texture that can be recolored. Alright, to start off, what I did is I found my shoe from Miss Mesher in my shop. I clicked the more information and brought it up into my Explorer. Alright, once here, I right click because I'm only using the texture. I right click on the texture and click Save Picture As. And we're going to label it I am as class shoe. And then of course I will replace it. And that'll save that to my desktop because that was the location I chose. Alright, so now I take, and you can either open this like this, right click and go to Open with GIMP. You can drag and drop, which, just pick it up and drag it and drop it into GIMP. Or you can choose File and then Open and then go down and choose your file and open it like that. But any way it goes, we want to open it up in GIMP. Alright, so first things first, let's go to Colors and Desaturate. Take all the color out of it and click OK. Now, when doing our shoe, we have to keep in mind that our shoe will not be as light as the color we chose. By the end of the process, the shoe color will actually be a darker color. So I actually want to choose a lighter base. Alright, so let's go in and I'm going to add a layer. That's this little tab right here in your layers docket. I'm going to add a layer, make sure it's transparency, click OK. You can also go up here to layers and new layer and add a layer like that. Now I want to actually zoom in just a tad bit. Alright, now I click my lasso tool and I am going to trace this. No, sorry, let's back that up. Let's click back down here on this bottom layer. And because this is so dark, let's go lighten this up some. So we're going to click Colors and then Curve. And I'm going to just grab my line and kind of pull it and play with it some. Right there is good. Alright, now let's click on our transparent layer. Alright, we will take our lasso tool and we are going to trace. And I am starting off with just the main texture. And I'm going to trace it all the way around. I leave a nice little space just because I don't want no glitches in my shoe. Okay, now here I can choose to do my heel separate, which I am actually going to do. So I'm going to enlarge this just to make sure I get on the right line. And I'm going to go up and I'm going to click back on my very first dot. And there's my marching ants. So let's go in. And I chose this light blue color. Let's go a little bit lighter though. Alright. And I'm going to bucket fill this blue. Select none. I'm going to go over here to my layers docket in my mode. I'm going to take it down to overlay. Alright, so far so good. I like it. Just have to remember that it will be darker by the time we are done with this. Alright, so now I'm going to add a new layer. Once again, make sure it's transparent. And I'm going to choose my lasso tool again. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my dot along my heel. Only part you really have to worry about it being perfect at is along the seam line where it meets. Alright, now I'm going to go with a not quite black but almost black bucket fill that layer. Select none, get rid of my marching ants, mode, and overlay. I actually want to repeat that, so I'm going to duplicate that layer. Alright, next step, we're going to add another layer. Lasso tool, if you notice, it's a lot of repetitive. We do things over and over and over again. We're working on the bottom now. I could have left it this gray color. I can change it to any color I want. If I wanted to add my name to it, I could, to brand it as mine. There's a lot of different things you could do with this, but it's all up to you. So I'm going to bucket fill. You can also drag and drop the color into that. That's just a quick way of doing it. Go to my mode and overlay, and I'm going to duplicate that again. Select none, get rid of my marching ants. Alright, now we got all this done. Our next step is we will click on this bottom layer. Alright, on this bottom layer, I will right click and I want to duplicate it. Then I want to move it to the top. There's a couple different ways we can do this. I can either A, grab that layer, drag it, and drop it immediately at the top. Or I can go to layer and stack, and then it'll say layer to top, and you can click that and it'll take it all the way to the top. That's the longhand form, but it's easier to just drag and drop. Alright, now once we got this layer up top, we want to go to our mode and multiply. This is why I say our boot will be darker once we come to the end of the process. As you see, my boot is significantly darker, but my detailing is more prominent. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to save this. Alright, first I want to save it as a PSD format. Reason is all the layers will be saved as individual layers just as it is. It'll be just like you are starting right where you left off. Alright, this also is for the DCMA purposes, so make sure you always have a PSD file for anything you make in imvu. Alright, I'm going to save that to my desktop, and I'm going to export, and I will replace that. And then the next step, we are going to export as JPG. All we're doing is changing the format. I left the name the same, I just changed the format. And hit export, replace, and it's on my desktop. Now I've opened it up in editor. Well, it's been open. And what I'm going to do is whenever you originally open this, they have these self-illuminating checked. This will make your product have a light effect to it. So unless you want it to glow in a specific type of room, I suggest do not click that this self-illuminating. Make sure that's always unchecked. So I'm going to go up here to the texture side, and I'm going to go find my texture, and I'm going to add it in. And then I'm going to hit apply changes. Now as you see, it's a slightly different color than what I had because I've done this shoe before. But as you see, it looks like it should. It actually looks very realistic. You can use this technique with patterns. You can use it with shirts, pants, anything you can think of. But this is a very, very easy technique to learn and get down. Now from this point, you click save, and if we were submitting it to shop today, we would go ahead and make our icon, take our pictures using our star HIRESNOBG. That is to take our picture and put it so we can use it for our icons. But we are not submitting today, but I hope this video was very, very helpful for you. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to shoot me a message on imvu and I will gladly get back to you. All right, thank you. You guys have a blessed day.